Welcome, everyone. Today is Wednesday, June the 19th, 2013. Time is approximately 7:05 p.m. This is the regular Board of 5:07. I'm sorry, thank you. 5:07 p.m. This is the regular Board of Directors meeting, Brushy Creek Regional Utility Authority. I now call this meeting to order. We're going to move to item number 2, roll call. Ms. Monique.
President Fielder.
Present.
Vice President Fuller.
Present.
Secretary White.
Present.
Director Lex.
Present.
Director Whitfield.
Present.
And Director Cantwell.
Present.
Great, we have a full board and we are eligible to do business. We're going to move to item number 3, citizens communications. Is anyone signed up to speak tonight? Would anyone like to address the board at this time? Okay, we're going to go ahead and move to item number 4, approval of minutes. 4A, consider approval of the BCRUA meeting minutes for May 15th, 2013.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the May 15th, 2013 meeting.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We're going to move to item number 5, executive session. Item 5A, consider executive session as authorized by 551.071 Government Code related to consultation with the board's attorneys regarding pending and/or contemplated litigation. We are now in executive session. And board, we're going to actually We're going to reconvene from executive session, move to item number 6, presentations. 6A, consider a presentation regarding the procedures for the July 17, 2013 board meeting at the proposed joint meeting with the 3 city councils to hold the Chapter 26 public hearing. Mr. Gallagher.
Mr. President, thank you. Just very briefly, I just wanted to remind the board pretty much what you just laid out, that next month's meeting will focus solely on the Chapter 26 hearing so that the Brushy Creek Board and the 3 city councils can make findings as to reasonable and prudent alternatives to that site, and we can keep the project moving forward. So just a reminder to everybody, it's a very important meeting, and we'd appreciate everyone's attendance.
Great, this is just a presentation, correct? We don't have to take any action?
Right. Hey, Chris, just a real quick question, just so everybody understands. The board does not count as the quorum for the city council. So the board has 2 members. So that means that each city council's got to have 4 of the remaining 5 that are not on the BCRUA board. So that means almost everybody's got to be there.
So we have to have 6 out of 7, is that correct?
Well, we need, the board needs at least.
No, I understand the board part, but I mean the council, in addition to that, has to have.
Right. Yeah, there's going to be 4 other, each city councils are going to convene and open their meeting, and there needs to be at least 4 of them.
On top of the 2 that are sitting here. So
Yes.
we've got to have 6 total.
Got to have 6 total at least, yeah.
Make sure that everyone out there knows that. Okay. Anything else? Okay, we're going to move to item number 7, resolution. 7A, consider a resolution authorizing the president to execute a multi-year agreement with Brockway, Gershbach, Franklin, and Niemeyer PC for auditing services in the amount of $73,500. Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, Mr. President, this is a 3-year agreement, scaling up from $24,000 in year 1 to $25,500 in year 3. It's been reviewed by all the finance staff and the operating committee, and everyone's in agreement with this recommendation.
Board, this is a resolution we need approval on.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution as stated in item 7A.
Second.
There's been a motion for approval and a second. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, resolution passes unanimously. Item 7B, consider a resolution authorizing the president to execute a supplemental agreement number 1 with CDM Smith Incorporated for construction phase engineering services for BCRUA water treatment plant phase 1A in the amount of $294,531. Mr. Gallagher.
Thank you, Mr. President. To differentiate this from the item that was discussed last month, this is related to construction services from CDM Smith, as last month's was related to design services. This runs through early in 2013. The project has run over a bit, and so they've had some additional cost for their on-site engineering staff. And as you can see in my background information, there are a number of other items, some of which will be, we believe, reimbursable by the construction contractor, and we'll be working through that issue as time goes along. But staff has reviewed this carefully. We did ask them to remove one piece, about a $22,000 piece, that reduced the total amount to the total that you see here of $294,000. But we've reviewed that carefully with them, and the operating committee and myself are in agreement that this, all the numbers add up, they're correct, and we recommend approval.
Well, this is obviously a large item, but the good news about this project, as we all well know, is this is still well under the change order rate. This has been a very successful project.
It's an extremely low change order.
Right.
rate for
I
a
mean,
project
we're
of this
still
magnitude.
less than, we may be approaching 1% now, maybe with this number, but I recall from a couple of months ago, it was 0.68%.
It's still below 1%.
We're still well under, so I'll make a motion to approve the resolution as stated in item 7B.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second for approval. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 7C, consider a resolution approving the BCRUA annual operating budget for fiscal year 2013-2014, subject to the approval of the participating cities. Mr. Gallagher.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will need to mention in the background information, we had a couple of changes at the last minute, and the number that I've got in there should have been changed, and I forgot. It's a little more than $1,576,000. It's $1,598,860, and that's in the resolution language that I added. Budget's essentially unchanged, only a few $1,000s more than last year. We're still in the startup phase. We won't have a full year of operation this year either. It's going to take a couple of years to settle in and get a better handle on what our overall normal annual operating costs are going to be. But we're comfortable that the budget, as you see before you, will give us the resources we need to operate the plant full year if necessary during this fiscal year. And we'll be tightening it up as time goes along. There also is a question of how the costs get distributed among the 3 cities, and that will be done in concert with the financial people in each of the 3 cities, and that's addressed as part of the motion. And also, there's a reserve component, which the finance people will also nail down, and that will be in the items that go to the individual cities.
Tom, is it going to be, is it going to be a dramatic departure from how we've done it the previous fiscal years in terms of how it's divided up?
Understanding is it will not.
Okay.
Mr. Fuller.
Great. Mr. Vice President, do you have a motion?
I do, Mr. President. I'd like to move to approve the proposed FY 2014 budget in the amount of $1,598,861 to be allocated among the cities per contract and to include required debt service and operating reserves.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second for approval for item number 7C for the annual operating budget. Is there further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And motion carries unanimously. We'll move to item number 7D. Consider a resolution authorizing the president to execute an engagement letter with the law firm of Knoll, Holcomb, Kaufman, and Callahan. Mr. Gallagher, is this you?
Yes, sir. No staff presentation, but we will answer questions if anyone has any.
Great. Obviously, this was one of the items we discussed in executive session. So is there a motion on this one?
Mr. President, I'll move to authorize the president to execute an engagement letter with the law firm of Knoll, Holcomb, Kaufman, and Callahan.
I second.
There's been a motion and a second for approval. Is there further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 7E, consider a resolution authorizing the president to execute a tolling agreement with Pepper Lawson Construction LP and Safeco Insurance Company of America. Board?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to authorize the president to execute a tolling agreement with Pepper Lawson Construction LP and Safeco Insurance Company of America.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second for approval. Is there further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And motion carries unanimously. We're going to move to item number 8, Director's closing comments regarding items of community interest. Ms. Whitfield.
Good night. Thank you.
Mr. White?
Good night, Central Texas.
Great. I'm sorry, Ms. Cantwell?
I just want to remind everybody about the upcoming July 4th holiday, and if you happen to be in Leander and want to come and enjoy Liberty Fest, it will be held at the Capitol Metro Rail Station. And apparently we've retained singer Corey Morrow, and there will be inflatables for the kids, food and drink vendors, so lots of fun to be had by all. We usually have a really good turnout there, so if you happen to be in the area and don't have other plans, please stop by, and it starts at 5.
Great. Mr. Lux?
No comments. I got one thing. And it's short. I see Roland Pena out there, and next week, and I'd like to talk about it. I'll share the details of it at a future meeting. But next week is the LCRA. It's the Regional Council Roundup. So the LCRA is bringing in all of the regional councils, and I'm chairman of the Central Basin Regional Council, which is Williamson, Travis, Hayes, Blanco, and Burnett County. So Becky Moda will be there. Have a few board members. That meeting is in Bastrop. So I look forward to a good dialogue and to emphasize our great relationship that we have with the LCRA. That's all I have.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Fuller. Well, just one quick thing. Tonight is actually my last meeting with everyone. My term as presidency will be up at the next meeting. I will be here with permission. I've talked to the incoming president. I will open the meeting at that time and turn the gavel over to the vice president. Between now and then, I'll be still acting president and continue to work on this project for everything for the Chapter 26 hearing. It actually is my desire to come off of the board. It is with a lot of things going on as mayor and things that we have going on in the city, I think it's best to not divide my time as much as it has. So tomorrow night, our council will actually be appointing a new rep, someone to fill my spot. We anticipate, and I hope that Ms. Cantwell will step up to that task and fill the voting rep, and then we will backfill with a citizens director and go from there. But it's been an honor to serve with each of you, and I look forward to the next meeting and finishing that up. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're adjourned.